December 2017, eastern Syria. Two F-22 Raptors are patrolling an invisible border. On one side, the coalition. On the other, Russia. For 40 minutes, Russian aircraft had been testing this line. And that morning, they crossed it. The American pilots had 30 seconds to decide. Fire first and start a war with Russia. Hesitate and let Russia fire first. This is the most lethal aircraft ever built, and it has been dead since 2011. In 1981, the United States Air Force had a problem. The Soviet Union was building a new generation of fighters, the Su-27, the MiG-29. Faster, more agile, better radar. For the first time since Vietnam, American pilots could not assume air superiority. The F-15 Eagle was the best fighter in the world. The Soviets had studied it for a decade, and now they were building something designed specifically to beat it. In 1981, the Air Force launched the Advanced Tactical Fighter Program. The mission: build something the Soviets cannot touch. Stealth, Supercruise, supermaneuverability, all-aspect lethality. Every requirement was technically impossible. That was the point. Then, on November 9, 1989, the Berlin Wall came down, and the entire logic of the program changed overnight. The Soviet Union, the enemy the F-22 was built to defeat, dissolved 2 years later. By 1991, the Cold War was over. The deficit was real. Every major weapons program was about to be reviewed. In 1993, Defense Secretary Les Aspin launched the bottom-up review. The F-22 survived, barely. And with a condition. Instead of 750 aircraft, the Air Force would receive 648, then 442. 11 years later, under Donald Rumsfeld, the number dropped to 183. But the engineers at Lockheed had a different problem. Supercruise, sustained supersonic flight without afterburner, requires engines so powerful, so precisely engineered, that they didn't exist yet. The Pratt & Whitney F119 turbofan produces over 35,000 pounds of thrust, with afterburner. Without it, still supersonic. No fighter in history had done that. Radar-absorbent material, it covers every inch of the airframe. Each panel edge cut to a specific angle, not for aerodynamics, for radar signature management. The F-22 does not reflect radar, it redirects it. And when you add thrust vectoring, the ability to point the engine nozzle independently of the aircraft's direction, you get something that breaks the rules of aerodynamics. The F-22's stealth is famous. Its sensors are not. Sensor fusion, the ability to combine radar, infrared, and electronic warfare data into a single integrated pilot picture, was the actual breakthrough. The F-22's radar, the AN/APG-77, can detect targets before they detect it, at ranges the enemy cannot match, and it does it while remaining invisible to anti-radiation missiles. It transmits in low probability of intercept mode. The enemy does not know they are being watched. In simulated combat exercises, Red Flag, the Air Force's most demanding war game, F-22 pilots have reported exchange ratios that are difficult to publish. What is known? No F-22 has ever been shot down, in any exercise. At Mach 1.5 or higher, without afterburner, the F-22 travels faster than most fighters at full power, and does it quietly. The acoustic signature at Supercruise is a fraction of an afterburner-powered fighter. You hear a sound, then the aircraft is already gone. Internal weapons bays, no external pylons. The F-22 carries 6 AIM-120 missiles internally, plus 2 AIM-9 Sidewinders. External pylons would destroy the radar cross-section. The Raptor trades payload for invisibility, every time. April 6, 2009, the Pentagon press briefing room. Defense Secretary Robert Gates recommended canceling F-22 production at 187 aircraft. The F-35 would replace it. Cheaper, more versatile, less capable. The numbers were impossible to defend. More than $60 billion in total program costs. Approximately $143 million per aircraft. More than any fighter ever built. Of the 187 delivered, roughly 150 are combat capable, and dozens face maintenance backlogs. The most advanced fighter ever built. Never used in combat. Never needed to be. December 13th, 2011, Marietta, Georgia. The 195th and final F-22 rolled off the production line. Lockheed preserved more than 30,000 jigs and fixtures. Stored, mothballed, officially intact. But when maintenance crews go looking, the containers are sometimes empty. The Air Force originally needed 381 aircraft, 10 squadrons, 24 aircraft each, 2 major regional contingencies. That was the analysis. It received 187. The F-15s, the F-22 was supposed to replace, are still flying, extended past every retirement date. Of the 187 delivered, mission-capable rates have fallen. In 2024, 40%. About 125 aircraft are combat-ready at any given time, less than half the original requirement. Behind every aircraft is a pilot who flew it, trained for years, cost the country millions to train, worth every dollar. Behind every Raptor is a Raptor pilot. The F-22 is not the most produced fighter ever built. It is the most refined. Every requirement, technically impossible, was met, and the system that built it could not afford the result. The Raptor is the cost of perfection, and there will not be another. The window for this kind of aircraft may have closed forever. Some machines exist to be used. Others exist to never be needed. The F-22 was built for a war that arrived differently than expected. Maybe that's the only war worth winning, the one that never starts. The F-22 Raptor is the most lethal aircraft ever built, and it has been dead since 2011. Topic: cross-promotion end card. But the Raptor was never alone. Next episode, the silent partner. Drop your answer in the comments. I read every one.